Welcome back to Coin Sense and Nonsense. Today, we've got a 3-cent silver. Oh, always wanted one of these and finally got one. And this is a cool one with toning. Look at that. So, the 3-cent silver is part of my dead denominations set. Alright, and so briefly, dead denominations. We got half cent, 2 cent, 3-cent silver, 3-cent nickel, half dime, and 20 cent. I've shown that already, and that one. So today, we got the 3-cent silver. And so there are three different types, and actually I've got it kind of broken down here. 3-cent pieces in general went from 1851 to 1889, but the silver, or they called them trimes also, they went from 1851 to 1873. But in 1873, it was only proof coins available. So, and then we had I'll tell you about that here in a little bit. They reduced all silver coins. Well, actually, they put out these 3-cent pieces because people were hoarding coins. But yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. All right, so yeah, this is a 3-cent silver from 1862, and it's got a bit of a cool story. Actually, it's an overdate. It's 1862 over 1861. And we'll look at that on the scope and check it out. But look at the toning there at about 3 o'clock. That is just amazing. So, I always wanted one of these when I was a kid, and they just seem so unattainable. I guess because they were expensive even back then. I'm old now. But this one really, really caught my eye, and not only is it the overdate, and not only does it have awesome toning on this side, and depending on which direction you rotate it, you can kind of see more colors. There's some greens and other colors. I was gonna say whatnot, but I'll try to reduce the whatnot content. So yeah, this side is very impressive, but how about this side? Oh my, look at that. So when I saw the blue toning on this one, especially in the diamond area there, it just made me very, very happy. So I said, yeah, I gotta go for this one. And this one has die clashes also. See the at the center of the coin there by the 3? You can see the cross hatched. That's actually the shield from that side. So there are some clashes. They're not really much extra value or any extra value because of that, because it was so common. But it's just kind of an interesting aspect of these coins. The 3-cent silver was made between 1851 and 1873. And at 1873, there were only proof coins made. So, yeah, this has an interesting history. Not this particular one, but just these coins in general. There was only one 3-cent silver, or any 3-cent, actually minted at a branch mint other than the Philadelphia Mint. There was one, 1851 was the first year of these, and they were minted in New Orleans and in Philadelphia. So the 3-cent silver has kind of a interesting place in history. In the 1850s, people were hoarding, or up until that point, people were hoarding all the silver half dimes and dimes because silver value had gone up, and the cost to make the coins actually was more than the silver, or it cost more to make the coin than it was worth. So people hoarded them, and there were hardly any coins available in circulation because of that, because most of the coins were made of silver and gold. So they came up with this 3 cent silver, and they made it only 75% silver because they wanted to discourage people from hoarding them, and figured that, to melt them down, there would be other metals in there and they wouldn't be as prone to be melted. So that lasted for a little bit, and you could tell by the different types of these coins. This is a type 3. Type 1 was 1851 to 1853, and those were the 75% silver. But there was a coinage act in 1853 that set the standard that all silver coins had to be 90%. So what they did is, for the half dimes and the dimes, they reduced the silver content by just making them less weight. The half dime went down by 1/10 of a gram. The dime went down by 0.18, so almost 2/10. And then the quarter went down by 0.46, and then the half by 0.92. So that was all in 1853, and so one of the distinguishing characteristics of coinage there is the arrows and rays variety in the Seated Liberty series, and that was because of that coinage act. They had to change the design, and so the arrows and rays came out in 1853, but we're getting off track here. Anyway, so this is the 1862, and so we're just kind of getting into the meat of the Civil War. So this, I guess, because of trying to conserve and all that, they reused a couple of the dies, and so this one was in 1861, and they just punched the 2 over it, or the 62 over it, and we'll look at that on the scope. You can check it out. But yeah, this just has such a cool story. All right, here it is with some amazing color. Wow. So to be able to appreciate it on the scope is kind of tough, just because we're in a little bit tight and it's so small, but you can see the nice color around the edge. So excellent. So yeah, what distinguishes this, this is type 3. Type 1 didn't have the border around the star. It was just a plain star. Type 2, they kind of did a little bit too fancy. There was too much of a border. I think it was like a double line. And on the reverse, there was an olive branch added for type 2, and also the bundle of arrows. And we'll take a look at that when we flip over. So yeah, the shield was kind of like one of the basic elements that was always in coins, like in the Seated Liberty, that she's holding the shield kind of at her feet there. So always a major element, and even in the 2 cent piece that's still to come, the shield was one of the dominant features. So here's the overdate. It's kind of a little bit difficult to see because it's so small, but right around the 2, you can kind of see a little bit of extra stuff sticking up there, and also kind of in this little area here, some remnants of the 1. And one of the telltale signs, there's a die crack that goes kind of right to the date, basically kind of in this area here. I'll go a little bit closer in, we can appreciate that a little better. Alright, so here you can see there's the die crack I was talking about, and then here you can see like the extra stuff with the 1. So And as I was lining this up, just some of that purple toning that I saw over here was just amazing. So take advantage of cruising around here since we're in a little bit tighter. Alright, here's the reverse with the amazing toning and also the die clash with the shield like I was pointing out earlier. Wow, just the colors are just incredible on this one. So we've got the 13 stars around the perimeter. And if there was a mint mark, in 1851 was the only one minted at the New Orleans Mint. The mint mark would be there. And the difference in Type 1 to Type 2 was the addition of the bundle of arrows and also the olive branch. This is a Type 3. They kind of reduced a little bit of the complexity of the design just so that it was easier for minting. In 1859 actually were the first ones with that design, or this design. So, and then coins, this was kind of like the last hurrah before the Civil War got into full swing. And so coins from 1863 onward, the silver coins, a lot of them were melted. And so they didn't survive. Even though the mintage numbers were not like super minuscule, the survivors are small because so many were melted down. So 1863 and beyond, the prices for any coins, but especially like a mint state coin, it's just out of this world. So not approachable for me. So this is kind of like the last year, I would say, that I would be able to collect that's in mint state. So these are smooth edge coins. And just imagine trying to have something like this in your pocket. These are only 14 millimeters. And so it's really, really tiny. So I could imagine a lot of these got lost just because they were so small. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed checking this out as much as I enjoyed showing it off. And so I think next time we'll do the 3-cent nickel. And what's interesting about these, a little preview, they kind of overlapped in dates. They started these in 1865, but they didn't stop the 3-cent silver until 1873. So anyway, so yeah, we'll do this one next time. And until next time, thanks so much for watching Coin Sense and Nonsense. Bye. Bye.